Welcome to another episode of Pop Culture. Zach, what's it called? Pop Culture?
Unboxing.
I was going to have Matt do the boxing part.
Oh, sorry.
It just the way he said that, it felt like it needed like a sound effect after it.
Yeah, I like that. It kind of sounded like, do you remember when Sonic came out and they had Gangster's Paradise as like the opening for it?
Yeah.
I had that like the in my head, so still synced here, Matt.
Dope.
Guys, how you doing?
I'm doing. How are you? How's you been, Ryan?
Sorry, excuse me.
Sounds like he's dying.
I'm
We
okay.
forgot to inform you that this is Ryan's last podcast, as he is currently dying of cough.
Yeah, currently is kill
Not cough.
Yeah, no, he's gonna die of cough.
of cough. Well,
Yeah.
I got my booster finally.
Booster seat. Mm-hmm. You're gonna sit up in the car.
Yeah, and the booster seat, it like has really messed me up. So
Yeah, they do that.
I don't recommend it.
Did your heart grow 3 sizes that day?
No, but it feels like it's broken. Feels like it's dying. So there's a lot of tightness in the chest, everything. So
You can make it through this. I believe in you.
yeah. I said, is there any side effects when she shot my arm? And she goes, I mean, you'll probably feel like really tired and also feel really strange in your chest, but you'll be okay. I'm like, I have heart conditions when I was younger. Should I be worried? She's like, nah. And it just sticks into my arm.
Wow.
It's like, I like this old lady, but I'm also kind of terrified now.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a good thing.
If you die, we'll build a statue in your memory.
Thanks, man.
Gotcha.
Oh, also, I got, remember the wedding you guys went to? My wedding?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Guess what? It's not official
Why?
because the pastor messed up my documentation. So I had to have the state send me a new marriage license for people to sign, for witnesses to sign.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah. So she had my brother and Heather sign where me and Robin are supposed to sign. And then she signed over our spot, one of our spots.
Wow.
And then when at one point it asks you to fill in like the city you got married in, she filled in the church,
Oh my
like
gosh.
the name of the church. So
Was it the first time she'd ever done a marriage?
I don't know. I came home, and like I went and like got gas in both our cars because we had that winter storm supposed to hit.
Yeah.
And I came back and Robin is looking at me and she just looks so distraught. And she says, "We're not married." I'm like, "Well, technically yes, because we haven't mailed it in yet." She's like, "No, we're not married."
That's so depressing.
Did you think that was her way of telling you that she was divorcing you already?
That'd be funny. That would have been really funny. She just
this trip to Florida, it was all a tax scheme.
Yeah.
dude, when she cried,
It's all about the
when
alimony.
I kid you not. I was terrified when we were standing up and like the priest, pastor, whatever that you would call her, is like has Robin repeat her vows, and she just broke down crying. And for a second there was a fear that I was like, oh no, she's regretting it. Just like, she's about to run.
I love that your first reaction isn't, oh, she's so excited to marry me that she's crying. It's
I didn't cry.
She's regretting it so much.
So wait, let me parse this.
Want it.
She cried because she was so happy, but Ryan didn't. So I take that to mean that Ryan is not happy he's married.
Well, because this is recording, I'm not gonna say anything.
Fifth Amendment, something or other.
Yeah, Fifth Amendment. Yeah, guys, sad day.
Sad.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It's a sad week. A sad week. Not my marriage. That's not what's sad. Sad week though.
I cried appropriately for the sad week.
Not that my marriage is sad.
I
just
can't
say.
see you, so I don't know how you're dressed. How are you dressed? Describe what you're wearing.
Excuse me?
Okay. So you said you're dressed appropriately for sad. Okay.
No, I
sad
cried
week.
appropriately. Or something. I sobbed something. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I thought this podcast was about to take a left turn into some territory that we should never take.
Like what, Zach?
Anyway.
Please elaborate.
Ryan asking you what you're wearing.
I don't get it.
That's for the after or pop culture after dark or whatever. The new.
Yeah. Okay.
But guys, some people passed away. Apparently, a good bit of people passed away, but I didn't know some of them, so I didn't have like the connection.
Yeah, it sucks when people I know die.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Screw everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, I
what
mean,
have they ever
yeah.
done for me?
Right.
Exactly.
Well, it sucks. It sucks when anybody dies, but Meatloaf unfortunately passed away.
He did.
That was the one that hit me hard because I listened to Meatloaf a lot more than be surprised. And then Bob Saget also passed away,
Yeah.
which doing all the drugs that he did, obviously it was bound to happen eventually, but it's just kind of was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so
They're both. Bob Saget was a lot younger. His was heart attack, they believe.
I can imagine. I can believe that. You'll have to dig back the clip of me doing the dirtiest joke in the world from our thing. and make sure
Yeah,
we
I
save
thought
it.
about that too. I definitely have
'Cause-
that still.
Yeah.
'cause
Put
I
it out
remember
now.
that exists, and I got the idea from listening to Bob Saget do his version. of
Yeah.
this.
That's in our archives.
That should never be released, but whatever. But yeah, so and Matt, Zach, did you guys know of anybody else that passed away that was not those two that were?
I think the guy that is supposed to play Midnight in Moon Knight, I think died in a skiing accident.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Which-
I think if I'm right, I think they said he's in the trailer, and now they're probably gonna have to reshoot and everything as well.
Well, they probably finished his scenes and stuff. They'll probably keep him in. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But I forgot we got to talk about Moonlight trailer eventually, or Moon Knight trailer.
Right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but we can get to that later. But if there's nothing else for like the celebrity is kill segment, Matt, you said you had a story for us.
I did. So today was a day of days, my friends.
Okay.
A pact that was started over a month ago and was delayed due to holiday season and my sister having a surgery on her foot has now come to pass.
Is it a suicide pact?
Well, it ended up being 7 of us. 7 of us engaged in a competition. It began originally with my mom, my sister, and my sister's boyfriend. But once several of us saw them beginning the competition, we decided we wanted in, and supplies were brought to us to play along. And then me, my dad, and my sister Angie competed. And then afterward, Cole gathered up some scraps and competed himself as well. What we did is we bought 8 dozen Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh boy!
Oh my God.
And the 7 of us engaged in a competition where we tried to eat a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts as fast as we could.
What?
Wow.
So
I mean, that might explain why you're sad.
I would, I'm happy to say that I was the winner.
Nice.
Do you care to guess how long it took me?
And so you said there's 7. How many donuts were there again?
Each of us had a dozen.
Had a dozen.
We had to
Okay.
eat a dozen donuts as fast as we could.
As fast as you could. Were they like the normal size donuts? Or were they like mini?
Normal Krispy Kreme glazed donuts.
Okay.
Okay.
3.5 minutes.
Yeah, I would say probably around maybe. I'll lowball it. I'll go like maybe 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
You guys have a lot more faith in me. It took me 5 minutes 46 seconds to eat a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts.
Wow.
Did you throw up afterwards?
I did
'Cause
not.
That's what I would have done.
I wanted to. I wanted to so badly, but if I had not placed first, I would have.
I was gonna say
But-
that's part of the rules, right? If you throw up, it doesn't count.
Yeah, so I didn't want to be disqualified with my winning score. My dad came in
it's like a hot
second
dog eating
with 8 something. I believe third place went to my sister's boyfriend Garrett, who did 12 and a half minutes, I think. I want to say my mom tagged in at 40 minutes or so.
At 40 minutes.
And then Katie, Angie, and Cole did not finish. Well, Cole did eventually finish. He didn't finish it. He ate he ate 5 and then ate the next 7 like 2 hours later.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that at all.
To be honest with you,
On top of this, about half an hour before I did my dozen, I had 2 already. So I ate a sum total of 14 donuts. My dad also ate 2 donuts before he did his, and he ate a burrito before he did his dozen donuts.
Wow, that's awful.
Holy crap.
And it was a thing where like my pain, I didn't know whether it was like a stomach ache or just shame, but I think it was a combination of both. But now I can confidently say I've eaten a dozen donuts in one sitting, and I don't think I'm ever going to eat donuts ever again.
I wouldn't. I would pat. I can't imagine how you felt afterwards, because that had to have like a feeling.
It did. Oh. You know that feeling when you feel like your stomach doesn't hurt, but you feel your cheeks tighten as you are about to throw up?
Oh, yeah.
I had that feeling for like an hour.
Oh, my God.
And what was the trick I found was I had to get in the lead. I knew at the beginning I had to get a quick lead. So what I did is I would take each donut, I scrunched it into a like almost a roll type thing, and just shoved the whole thing in my mouth, chewed it, and then before I chewed too much, I took a big gulp of water with it.
That's a smart move.
And then I did that for the first 6, I think. And then from there, I started having to slow down. And then I saw my dad catching up, so I sped back up. But that last donut, I ate that one in very small bites. The sweetness is what gets you, it turns out.
Oh, yeah. Because after a while, that's too much sweetness.
Yeah, exactly.
I would attribute that's the same way I feel after, if I go like couple months or something after of not eating any like fast food like McDonald's, and then I have like one of their Big Macs.
Yep.
Because usually after that I feel awful. Nothing wrong with me. I just feel, I guess, like gross. Like it f's with my brain or something like that.
Yeah.
Shame.
I don't know if it's shame. I don't feel
shame
know. When I eat.
So in conclusion, I don't know if it was worth it. I will now take questions.
Why did Cole fail so miserably? If anyone, I actually thought Cole would have been the one to give you the run for the money.
He may have had
money on that.
He may have had a lot of alcohol the night before last night. So.
Oh, okay.
So he was still nursing a hangover of.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So he was handicapped.
A little bit, yeah.
I think to be fair,
and his heart wasn't in it. It was the funniest exchange was him sitting down and deciding to do it. And my dad making a comment about how all you need is the heart of a champion, and Cole responded that the problem was that his heart wasn't in it. He was just doing it because the rest of us did.
I like how you're telling me that you got your whole family shamed Cole into eating a dozen. No,
he stopped. And I mention that? Yeah, Angie and Katie both tapped out. They said no.
Yeah, so, I would too.
Oh man,
I would have tapped out after the third one.
I think they both were they got 6 in, I think.
Yeah, I would have tapped out at 3.
Some stats for you. It was just under or just over 200 grams of sugar, which was surprisingly low. You'd think it'd be more. It was about 2,200 calories.
That's what I was going to ask. How many calories?
Wow. Yeah. And it's not filling at all because about 3 hours later, I was hungry for lunch. Because they are mostly air.
Wow.
Wait, so you did this in the morning? Like this was your breakfast?
No, in the afternoon. It was about noon or 1.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, you guys just woke up in the morning and everyone's just like, it'd be fun. Let's all just go out, each buy 12 donuts and just.
Like I said, this has been in the works for a while.
Now, the question, you didn't go to like a Krispy Kreme. You just bought like those pre-thing, like.
No, we went to a Krispy Kreme. They went to a Krispy Kreme twice.
Oh, so you got like the fresh.
Yeah.
You guys got fresh donuts.
That's the other thing I did. Oh, that's right. I microwaved the donuts. I heated them up.
That probably would have helped a little bit.
It did. It helped a lot.
Because I can't imagine like the ones that you just buy at like Giant Eagle or something.
Exactly.
That's so. I mean, congratulations though.
I don't know if I deserve that. Take it back, please.
I take it back.
Don't know if I deserve that. Take it back.
I don't know. In my opinion, that's kind of fascinating.
Yeah, and we discovered our limits. Is that for me, about 2 donuts is it.
It's like the chicken nuggets.
Yeah, That's what my mom
Before
said.
you
She
go
said
on.
she's never going to get a look at a donut box and say, "Oh, I could eat that whole box." She knows better now.
What is it, like 600 and what was it? Oh, how much was it? How many chicken nuggets was it for a guy had a
It was in the
had a
400s
stroke?
somewhere, I think.
How many chicken nuggets?
Oh, to have a stroke. I thought you were going to say how many chicken nuggets do you have to eat to get radiation poisoning?
No, that's bananas.
No, but yeah, that's
Oh,
bananas.
it's bananas. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, bananas and chicken nuggets. You often get the two confused.
Listen, I've got so many data points in my head, I can't remember like anything anymore.
How many chicken? That would be a fun competition. We should do chicken nuggets. See how many chicken nuggets we can eat in one sitting. Stroke. What was it? Oh yeah. A man was paralyzed after eating 413 chicken nuggets. Wow. So we know that the limit is 413.
No,
But
412.
Right. So 412, you ascend to God.
Yes.
But if
You any amount 412 and under is fine. If you eat 413, then you'll become paralyzed and die.
yeah, 413, you've flown too close to the sun.
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations, Icarus. Enjoy death.
Yeah, I like how if you Google how many chicken nuggets can kill you, like the top thing from Google is a Quora
Yeah.
question. It says the stomach can hold an average of 1 gallon, or an average of 1 gallons of content. Food is not as dense as liquid. That being said, unless you're able to liquefy the chicken nuggets, 114 chicken nuggets may be too many before tearing the stomach.
The key-
that guy's just like challenge accepted.
The operative phrase being may.
We found the limit. We have proof. I want to know how much. That's
the limit.
But yeah, on August 13th to the 19th, screenshot supposedly showing a headline of a news article: local man paralyzed after eating.
Hold on, I
413
love this
chicken-
take. I clicked on that Quora link. The first
Yeah?
response is depends on the speed of the chicken nugget. I like where this is going.
Oh no, we're coming back to start the restaurant where you fire
With
chicken.
enough speed, a single chicken nugget could kill the whole of mankind. The weight of an average chicken nugget is 16 grams. Accelerate this chicken nugget to 299,792,457.99 repeating meters per second. Almost the speed of light, and hit the earth with it.
Wow.
You get 5.6 E plus 27 joules collision. That is 5.56 with 27 zeros behind it. The largest nuclear bomb ever made was 2.1 E plus 17. So this is on orders of magnitude bigger. It would probably destroy the planet. That is good to know.
So, how on earth in this podcast did we get back to how fast a chicken has to fly for something to happen?
We really do. We really do land on this a lot, don't we? Get it, land.
Dude, I went to that same Quora article and I was listening to this one dude. So I can eat 25 nuggets each day, half of this intake, using the other half of my diet for reaching a balanced diet. As a French, my life expectancy is 82.27 years. I will round to 80 because the chicken nugget diet is not very healthy. I am 37 years old, so I could eat 43 times 365.25 to the 25th power, equaling I could eat 392,643 chicken nuggets before dying. Take that, science.
Wow.
That assumes how many chicken nuggets you eat before you die of something unrelated. What? Okay, wait.
That's what someone
Could you last a lot longer if you peeled the skin off the chicken nugget and just ate
Probably.
The skin off the chicken nugget?
the
You mean
flesh?
the bread?
This is
That thing.
It's healthier if you take the breading off, so maybe
Yeah.
you won't die as quickly. Not sure, but I'm at 12,950. Oh, I'm at 12,945,388 and counting. I'll ask to post the final number to Quora from my family after I've passed away.
Now that I'm thinking, like, when you die, do you get to see all your stats in life? Because if so, I definitely want to know.
so.
I want to know how many chicken nuggets I ate in my life. I bet it's lower than I think. Because I don't eat chicken nuggets all that often.
I would like to. There's definitely stats I would like to know.
Yeah. How many
would
steps did I
like to-
take in my entire life?
The one thing I'd like to know is what was like when depending. I guess depending on when I when I die. So say if I die in like the younger range. So if I die tomorrow, like the one question I'm going to ask is what was one thing I could have changed in my past that would have put me in a better to not die at this time? Could I have eaten better? Could I have not, could I have just worked out more? Could I have, all those questions I have. Those are all questions I have. Whoa. I want to buy this. I don't want to buy this. Okay. Back to the show.
Okay.
Also, Zach, do you have any more questions? I feel like I'm going to have more questions later. So I'm probably going to like bombard you with text messages later. Like, how many, what was the, after a while, I guess the one question I really have is how many donuts did it take before the donuts, instead of tasting as good as they normally do, did they start to taste terrible?
About 8.
Like, about 8? So was it like a rapid change, or did it just kind of like you slowly felt it coming on as like they were getting worse and worse? As
it was pretty rapid. Like the sweetness is just overpowering, and then the texture starts feeling awful.
Do you think you would have had an easier time if you just got plain donuts instead of glaze covered?
Probably. It is still just sugar bread. It's still sugar bread, though.
Oh, right.
Like, yeah.
I would think the glaze would have like made it harder to chew after a while, just because all that like. I guess that's like sugar, so that just dissolves in your saliva and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah. So would not recommend.
I can't imagine what that felt like later when you had to take a bathroom trip.
I haven't yet.
You're gonna have a lot. You're gonna have a tough time.
Oh
yeah.
No!
Buy that preparation H.
Between them, they have just under a gram of fiber per donut. So I got myself. It's okay. I got about 10 or 11 grams of fiber with it. So we should be good.
I know that you're like you say like you shouldn't be proud, but I think it's kind of funny. I think it's cool.
I didn't say it wasn't funny. I just don't think I should be proud of it.
Well,
I don't know, man.
There was that one lady that wanted to be the fattest person in the world, and she went for it. Hey, if you're gonna do something, might as well make a record.
But at what cost?
Quality
depending
of life.
on whether the cost was worth it. Was it worth it to you?
No.
Wasn't? Okay. Oh wait, I think you already said that. Okay, we should probably talk more into the show. We're 23 minutes.
You're welcome for roping you into my suffering.
I'm impressed. So
thank you.
I don't know if you care if I'm impressed, but I'm impressed with it.
I kind of hoped you wouldn't be, because now I'd be encouraged to try something similar in the future.
No. Don't ever,
Matt, the next
hot dogs or
avocado.
something.
buddy. Never.
Oh, okay. You're right, Zach. You're right. You've cured me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, never expect me to be the voice of reason. I'm the one guy who once said I would He left me a message. What does that mean?
What?
You just kind of cut off.
Oh, it just said thank you for the order. Some guy. I got distracted. I got an email from Fiverr that said thank you for the order. I was like, okay, but I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, don't ever expect me to be the voice of reason, because I am the one. I am also the guy who once said, I want to have. I would love to join the crew of Jackass and be with them.
True, so, you did. You have said that in the past.
Why?
I'm an idiot, man. I did a lot of stupid crap as a kid.
I mean, same.
For CPU.
Yeah, but CPU why now?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Like, I feel like 16 to like 20-year-old Ryan totally makes sense.
Well, 20-year-old Ryan is also the guy who dislocated his arm one time by trying to climb a building, and then afterwards did it again.
Sounds about right.
Standard 16 to 20-year-old people stuff.
Yeah, I was 22 when that happened. So 22, 23, I think.
There was a time I was younger. I was probably in my low teens, where a friend of mine convinced me to run around his backyard with his eyes closed. And it was a pretty big yard. I think I was trying to catch him, and I had my eyes closed, and he was making noise, so I had to like suss him out with hearing. And I managed to sprint headlong into the single tree in their yard. And I hit it hard enough that his mom came outside asking what the noise was. I had a welt on my head. It hurt.
I bet you did. That's awful.
Like, I'm not exaggerating. I was running full tilt into the tree.
See, I wish I had more stories like that about me growing up. Because, like, all my stories are, like, not, well.
I mean, growing up, I'm pretty sure it's easy to see why people said that they didn't expect me to make it very far in life with the things that I did. I think at one time I rode on the top of, my buddy had a van that he took out the back seats for one day to make a bed back there because he just wanted to have he wanted to live in his vehicle. He wanted to live in the van someday, I think was the conversation.
I respect the hustle.
And so he just did it. So like, I remember they picked me up one time and like they pulled up and he opened the door and the van, he opened like the side door to the van. Cause like vans have those little side doors that kind of like open up and slide back. Mm-hmm. So he opened it up and he was in the front. Braden was in the front. And then it was just 3 other people just in the backseat, just sitting on this bed without seatbelts and everything. So already know like this looks shady. But I remember like we rode on it and there was this like real windy like hilly road and he would like try to do jumps in the van.
Oh my
God. We just got the idea. It'd be fun. Why don't we hang on the top of it? Because he had those little like bike rack things. So like me and Jesse hung on top of it and full speed driving down this windy road and doing jumps, constantly holding on for dear life.
Wow.
So I should be dead, but
you're not. That's what matters.
Right. Speaking of people, wait, no. How do I? Never mind. Doctor Strange got pushed back. I was trying to find a good segue.
Did it now?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, not very far. It got pushed back to May 6th. I don't know. You're the one that brought this to my attention. I didn't even know about this.
Doctor Strange got pushed back.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No one knows why.
Let me look it up.
No one knows why?
No. No one.
Why do you think it got pushed back? Speculation time.
COVID.
I mean, that's probably safe.
No, I doubt that. Marvel at this point is pretty much like we don't care. We're gonna make our money.
And on top, it was all of the it was production issues. It was why all of the Marvel movies got pushed back.
So when was it supposed to come out?
March.
Originally slated for March 25th of 2022.
Well, we got pushed back like a month and a half.
I wonder if they found more people to be in it, and
I mean,
they were just like, "Hey, it's only going to be like an extra 10 minutes of runtime, or a couple minutes of extra scenes. Why not bring them in?" And it's something that like they think the fans really want.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, strange to me.
It's possible you might see the Spider-Man.
I get
again.
it, because that's the name of the guy in the movie.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Apparently there's some leaks and stuff that I didn't want to read the article, but when I was looking up the article, you're saying that they got it pushed back. I was interested, but I don't know what the leaks are, but I'm assuming. I still think that Wolverine and stuff is going to show up in it.
I mean, that would be pretty dope, if you ask me.
That would be pretty neat.
Now that they own like the Fox characters and the new X-Men 9, the old X-Men 90 show is coming back.
All of the X-Men things are on Disney Plus now.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think I had asked this question before in a message, but I would actually like to see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man show up in Doctor Strange 2.
That's a rumor.
And the reason why is in order to keep the multiverse from collapsing in Spider-Man No Way Home, he made it so that nobody remembered Peter Parker.
Right.
And I'm wondering if that was across the multiverse. So Tobey
No.
Maguire's Spider-Man could have went home, and MJ and his daughter don't know who he is.
No, that got confirmed that that's not how it worked. That the spell only fell into universes. There was an interview with like the writers said
That would be such a cool thing, because then you could set it up for Tobey Maguire to be like a secondary villain in here. Or
Right.
not necessarily a villain, but like an antagonist just showing up being like, fix my life.
Yeah, well, at least currently it's not. It didn't affect Maguire Spider-Man at all. At
That would
least
be
That's good to hear.
I mean, they still could change it if they want to. I don't know if they even want to. They may continue Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I know that they're definitely considering Andrew Garfield to come back as
yeah,
Spider-Man.
they are.
Yeah.
That has been
That would be dope.
I guarantee that they probably also offered Maguire to come back and do it again after like No Way Home, but they decided Maguire probably didn't want to do it. But yeah, there was a lot of discussion about him coming back and playing the character, or I guess playing the character, because you see so many interviews with Andrew Garfield now where they're like, would you be interested? Are you interested in coming back and playing the character again? He's like, I would like to see the story finish. It's like, I don't know if that'll ever happen. And typically when these actors when it keeps constantly coming up in discussion, it ends up being a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he is out of all three of the Spider-Man, he stole the show for a lot of people.
Well, yeah, because he's the only one who didn't really get a conclusion of any sort in his movie.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he also had a good redemption arc with saving MJ.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, also people just loved his performance. They loved him so much as Spider-Man or as Peter Parker in No Way Home that hopefully that's not. I guess we're allowed to tell people that now, right? Because
It's been out for a while, so yeah.
Right. I wonder when it's coming out. I'd like to watch it again. I just don't want to go to the theater to see it.
Yeah, it should be on Disney Plus at some point in the future.
I hope so. I'd like to watch it again. Although, it's so strange. I have not really thought much about that movie after seeing it.
Yeah,
I'm
me
so
either.
glad that I saw it, but I haven't really had I'm not clamoring over it anymore. I was.
I mean,
leading
I
up
don't
to the
think.
film.
To be fair, I don't think we expected it to change our lives.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured that I would have more thoughts about it, but I have not.
Yeah, but
really
I thought you
put
hate
more-
Marvel now.
I don't hate Marvel now. I just don't care about the future of it as much. I'm not as interested.
Why are you so
in the
toxic?
future. I'm getting old, man. Everything sucks now.
This is true.
Everything sucks.
Speaking of things sucking,
Huh.
sucks when people die. You want to talk more about people dying?
Sure. Okay.
Well, that took a dark turn.
Go ahead.
What? Who died?
The Moon Knight adjacent men.
Oh, we already talked about it.
Did we?
already.
Yeah.
we already did that.
Oh,
Uh,
I forgot that he got
you're-
lumped in with all the other celebrities.
Matt,
yeah.
why are you so toxic?
Don't worry about it.
The actor passing away.
He was French and he was 30-something, and it was very sad. It's a ski accident.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to say this name.
Try it.
Gaspard? Gaspard? I don't know. I just put it in our little group chat thing. What do you think?
Gaston?
I don't know. There's no way I'm going to be able to say that last name. I feel so bad that I'm not
Julio?
going to say it.
I don't know. Doesn't Robin
Julio?
speak French?
Yeah, but she's not here. She's in
one
Disney.
Skis
Well,
like
that's
Gaspard,
unfortunate.
not one-
Yeah.
Call her and ask.
Died at 37 after a ski accident.
Yeah.
He was set to play. This is the part, again, I don't know anything about the future any of the characters anymore. I know absolutely nothing. So I guess that might be kind of exciting because I don't know anything about these characters. So I should be a little bit more excited about the future of Marvel.
Yeah, you should be.
What's the character he's playing?
Moon Knight?
No, Oscar Isaac's playing Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Who does this guy play?
I think it's Midnight.
Also, can we talk about how scared I think Ryan and I both were when Zach texted us saying Moon Knight died?
Oh yeah, yeah. I read.
Yeah.
I
was
read
very
the-
terrified.
I thought as
read
soon as
the
he said that, I'm like,
article
wait,
on-
Oscar Isaac died?
That's
Yeah,
as soon as I replied back Oscar Isaac, I was like, no, don't tell. That can't be true. It's
So
fake.
what I did was I read because I didn't know Oscar Isaac was playing Moon Knight. So when I read the article, it said the guy that was starring in it, and then when I read through it again, when it said Midnight, my brain just adjusted it to Moon Knight, and I was
Your
like,
brain
oh
just is
yeah.
like, nah.
So like when you guys said Oscar Isaac, I was like, let me reread that, and when I went back and reread it, I was like, oh yeah, it said Midnight, not Moon Knight. Like, what am I doing here?
His name is Midnight Man.
Midnight Man. That was what it was.
What in the world? Who is Midnight Man?
Moon Knight's arc
Earth
emesis.
616. Nothing's known about his past. Before he started stealing great works of art, jewels, and such. So he's a thief.
Oh,
He's just a thief. Does he have like a costume or something? Like, is this a new? Oh yeah, he does. That's a dumb costume. It's a dumb. Drawing.
Anytime I see some of these costumes, all I think back to is season 3 of Daredevil, and how they made the brilliant decision, honestly, to get rid of the costume and put him back in like the black hood.
Oh yeah, I kind of didn't like that.
You're wrong.
But it makes
It
sense.
was such a good character choice.
Like it makes more sense for what his character is because a guy in a bright red suit in the middle of the dark
Exactly.
does it. Well, I guess it's
Santa?
not a
And also,
bright
the
red
suit just doesn't fit in with how grounded that story is.
right. Yeah, if you carry this is a picture of Midnight Man fighting Moon Knight. It's got like he has like a blue and like a black and blue suit.
You're wrong. That's Spawn.
That's not Spawn.
It's pretty close to Spawn, man.
It is very close to Spawn, but no, that's fair.
Spawn
Moon
movie
Knight
when?
canceled? I don't know. I think there's a Spawn show.
That was a weird movie.
Yeah, it
Spawn
was.
show.
But Todd McFarlane is a very weird dude.
It took me a second.
True.
I thought you said it's a poncho, and I was like, what?
I like Pawn Stars.
Oh, I like Pawn Stars. Best
No,
I can
no,
do is
like
12.
like a rain poncho.
Oh, like Pacha from Emperor's New Groove. He has a poncho.
Yeah.
He does have a poncho. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
And this
I
guy
guess
just
not.
threw off
I don't know
Moon
why
Knight's group.
I thought there was a project for Spawn. I thought there was something
I
happening.
thought so too.
But I guess not.
I guess we're just wrong and stupid.
I mean, yes. That's new Spawn show. King Spawn arrives in August, making it the first Spawn title in 28 years. The new series spins out of the best-selling Spawn universe, and his historic first issue will feature an all-star roster. Well, okay, what does the... Oh, it's a comic book. It's not a show,
Oh.
right? No,
That would
animated
explain
show reportedly back on track at HBO. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
Well, that might be
Todd
something we
McFarlane.
talk about someday.
I hope so.
Ryan,
What?
speaking of shows.
Yes. Speaking of shows,
Yeah?
what about shows?
You said it.
What?
You just said speaking of shows.
Speaking of shows,
Yeah?
what about shows?
What about you just said it.
No, I don't. Yeah, but it sounded like you wanted to intro it, so I'm giving you the power.
I don't want power.
I'm giving you the talking stick. Take the talking stick.
I can't. We're recording remotely again.
I couldn't tell who
You're
was
stuck with the
gaslighting
talking
who. Then
stick.
it turns out that I'm just the only one that doesn't know what's going on.
Ryan didn't take the bait. You have no idea how much it annoys me.
Here's the talking stick. Take the talking stick, Matt. Take the talking
Oh my!
stick.
He just sent me some sort of BDSM stick tool. I don't know why he has that picture saved.
I don't know why it has feathers.
Book of Boba Fett's
I have-
really good.
It is really good.
Zach, have you watched it?
I have
Dude.
not because I
Zach.
keep forgetting to get the login information from Ryan.
Disappointing. Anyway, real quick, so far out of the show, I'm so my favorite meme that has come out of this show is the like a band.
Like a bantha.
He's just
Like a bantha.
Dude, there's a video so like I'll send it to you, and you can put it in the show notes.
If you type in Leica, it's one of the first results.
Yeah. So it did, like, it's just like to techno music and him dancing to techno music in different films in the background.
Like a band.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite meme. Are you guys excited for him to also ride his Rancor like a bantha?
Yes. Spoiler alert. He has a Rancor.
Yeah, he has a Rancor. I'll be honest with you. The first 2 episodes, the first episode, I was a little like, okay, this show's good. It's a little underwhelming, but and I get it that everyone is also like, I don't like the show, or it's like every so often the episodes are good, they're not good. I'm pretty invested. If I'm gonna spoil, are we allowed to talk about spoilers? We good with that?
Turn this off if you don't want to spoil. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. What did you think of how the last episode ended when you hear the Mandalorian theme song?
That was
So
great.
think
what I love about that episode is they set that motif up earlier in that same episode when you're
Yeah.
seeing the battle from season 1. Like that was good because they set it up there. They used the motif there, and then they used it at the end of the episode to tie it back to it, which is brilliant. So I think we are going to get Din Djarin back in Boba Fett.
Which is exciting, but I mean, you technically called it, remember? But they tricked us with that one line where he said, "I'm not in the trailer when the show was coming out.
Yeah,
I'm not a bounty hunter." He said, "That's not what I heard." Because remember, you and I had this conversation. Like, I'm pretty sure that's Din, but it turned out it was just the mayor. But maybe he's still gonna say it or something like that.
Wait, say what?
When during in the trailer where.
I meant which of
sounds
those
like
2 lines were you talking about?
Like, that's not what I heard.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I think that line's still going to be in
Yeah?
there. It's just that what they did is they cropped it into something else.
That would make sense.
I
also,
could be wrong, though.
I also do like how they recontextualized that first part. I'm not a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
That, in context. I know people are complaining that this isn't the Boba Fett we knew. The Boba Fett you knew had like 3 lines and a combined total of like 2.5 minutes on screen. Like, this is good character development. Stay out of it.
Right. I also like where he's coming from, where he's like, being a bounty hunter does suck. He's like, it does. I like the one line in the show. He says, I'm tired of serving idiots that'll get me killed.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I don't know. Crime Boss Boba Fett is super cool. I like it. I like the idea. I'm for it. I'm sold.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
I just don't. I don't know. I get why people don't like it because the show. It's not like a typical show where there's a lot of action. I think like this last episode there was nothing happened, and then the episode before that we had like an old school like cop car chase.
Yeah. Well, and I think now that the flashbacks are done, we're gonna really start getting into the meat of the show.
Well, I think there's only 7 episodes in the show.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So 3 more left.
Is it 7?
Yeah, it is 7. Fun fact: Ming-Na Wen, who plays Fennec Shand, voice of Mulan, Melinda May in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mm-hmm. Do you know how old she is?
No.
52.
Guess. Okay, Zach's guess is 52. Ryan?
Oh boy. Am I allowed to look at a photo of her?
I guess as long as you don't check her age.
I won't. Let's. You said 52.
Yeah, I'm assuming 52. If she played Mulan, then she's got to at least be 45. So I just added a couple years.
I'll highball it. 58.
You nailed it, Ryan. She's 58.
And
she's killing it. Like,
yeah.
She is doing a great job.
She tricked me, though. I saw an interview with her, or there was an interview, and she didn't trick me. I heard what I wanted to hear and not what she said.
Okay.
She said something. they asked her. She said she couldn't reveal anything in like an interview, but she asked. She's like, but she's a bounty hunter, and she's now working with something along the lines of like working with other, or she's learning to work with others more. And for some reason, I took that and changed those around to tell her saying like, I'm gonna work with with other bounty hunters. I'm like, are we gonna get it? We're gonna get Cad Bane. Is he coming? We're gonna get that revenge for the dent in the helmet. But I was wrong.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, apparently she's jumping in on the fray with all the fans asking for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to be revived. She is saying, like, that'd be awesome and stuff. So I'm like, yes, give me more.
And make it, and fully bring it into the MCU. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show is
later seasons do not work with the MCU canon.
Oh, they don't?
No.
I say the stuff that I watched, I was like, this could be a good, like, you could use this show to explain a lot of...
the first couple seasons are fine, but then there's stuff that happens in later seasons that are like, there's no way this doesn't get brought up in the movies.
Right.
Because it's just so important to the world. So, which is fine. I'm fine with her having the other canon there.
Would you guys make fun of me if I got the tattoo of like a bantha on me?
Yes, I would.
I don't know.
Very much.
It's such a stupid idea.
Very much.
I don't know why. I just love it.
Just get a tattoo of a bantha.
Yeah, and then like a bantha.
No, just a bantha, and let it be there. Subtlety is key.
Right. I'm such a fan.
What you should do is you should put a bantha and then one of those Facebook thumbs ups. And when somebody asks you, you can say, I like a bantha.
Oh my God, that's Ming-Na Wen is she's one of the few who got the Disney hat trick.
What's that?
Disney. She was in a Disney property, a Star Wars property, and a Marvel property.
Oh yeah, yes she did.
So she got the hat trick.
So she was in a Disney property?
At this point, I think Disney does own her. I think that's how that works.
Yes, she is now a property of Disney.
I was going to say
Donnie Yen also did it.
I was going to say, how is it impressive that she was in all three when Disney owns all of them?
Who did Donnie Yen play in Marvel? Because I know
Donnie Yen in Star Wars. He was. What
is the guy from? That's the guy from Rogue One, isn't it? Isn't that who he played in Rogue One? The blind.
Yeah,
no.
I just can't remember his name. He played the blind Jedi though. Yeah.
And then I'm assuming did he play? What did he play in a Disney film? Who was he? Are you saying Mulan?
I don't know.
Was he also also in Mulan?
I think he was in the new Mulan.
In a new one, okay. And then who was he in the Marvel films?
The Marvel, I don't know. There's a picture of him here, but I don't recognize it. So it must be from an older Marvel before Disney took him.
Let me see. I'll see if I know.
Samuel L. Jackson has done the Disney hat trick.
Oh my! I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea who that
is. Lupita Nyong'o. It looks like Samuel L. Jackson was the first one for Incredibles, Star Wars, or for the prequel trilogy, and Nick Fury.
Yeah.
So I think
So I mean this is an honest question. Why is this an impressive thing when Disney owns all of those and they tend to hire the same actors?
They don't, I don't think, between those properties.
I mean, Star Wars, they've kind of stuck to George Lucas's role of hiring lesser known actors or newer actors. Because, well, that's only for really the Star Wars, for the big Star Wars films. Because I remember that's a rule that was the one thing. If it was a character that was a big character like Obi-Wan Kenobi, or in the case of Han, Luke, and Leia, they were all unknown actors or were not actors, and that's what they did with The Force Awakens too. They hired actors that were relatively unknown.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked both times. It was just the actors were given crap scripts.
Right.
Although I still don't like John Boyega because he ruined Pacific Rim.
I want him to have another shot.
At what?
At Star Wars.
He does not. That. He's been on the warpath against Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Well, it's understandable, all things considering, but.
Oh yeah, after the way they treated him, definitely.
But I definitely would like to see him. I'd like to see him get another shot at making Finn. Or just
maybe actually tackle the whole thing of him being a former stormtrooper instead of just kind of leaving that by the wayside.
Right. Yeah. Man, I don't know.
Actually, do the character development you're setting up.
I love
they dropped his character so that they could hit a market that, and it just ruined the entire film. And that's exactly what happened.
That he was going to be a stormtrooper turned into a Jedi. I really like that. Like, the only thing that, if they were going to do that, they were going to show him his transition. I would have liked the second film to give us more of like a flashbacky look to what it was like being a stormtrooper, to see him break that like conditioning that he did as a kid, like showing like, because the thing with like the Empire would be harder to see someone defect, because the Empire, you could see why they were in power, but when you see the First Order, they were just Nazis, and I wanted to see more of. I'd like to have seen more of them just proving that they were worse than the Empire.
Yeah,
well, at least in my opinion, it felt like It felt like, I don't know how you guys feel, but I felt like the First Order were just evil to be evil, and the Empire, when you branch out and see how like the Empire formed and everything, it was very understandable why people joined. Why there were people that supported the Empire and stood with it.
Yeah, and I think that was the thing, was like the entire new trilogy just had some pretty weak writing all around. And like there is nothing interesting about like just someone who's there to hurt people just because they can. Like It's just not interesting. It's like you could have done at least something more to. Like, I think that the reason why the original worked out so well is because the guy behind the scenes never told anyone that he was just about power. He just sat back and convinced everybody that what he was doing was the right thing to do. And like, that's a cool story to tell, because it's that propaganda and that manipulation of how he took over and how he maintained control. Well, so nobody else thought that.
A lot of planets benefited from the Empire. Like a lot of the original Separatist planets.
Oh boy, are we sure we want to go down the road of Empire apologism?
I mean, it's a fantasy world that doesn't exist, so yes.
Ryan supports space Nazis. You heard it here first.
The Empire weren't space Nazis. The First Order were. They were space Nazis.
Two things can be true at once.
Disney doesn't know how to write villains very well.
No. Well,
not just being bad.
The reason why the Empire was interesting and the First Order wasn't was because the Empire at least made the argument that they weren't Nazis and that they were the good guys. And the First Order is just like, yeah, we know we're Nazis. And like, that's why it wasn't cool. Like, that's why it was kind of boring. It was like, okay, you're the bad guy and you know it. Mm-hmm. Like, and at least for the Empire, it was like, okay,
the Empire was explicitly the bad guys in the original trilogy.
Well, yes, yes, but it was one of those things where
yeah,
it was.
You don't get much more bad guy than that.
Well, but there's the argument that Palpatine was the one driving it, and it wasn't. Not everybody that was there was for that. And a lot of it was like, hey, we're going to go along to get along because, things aren't necessarily bad. And
well, the Legends material is where I'm saying is like the Legends material really made anything that was based around the Empire kind of showed itself, was written as its own propaganda to show you like, this is why people believed in the Empire. And then Disney took over and said, nah, that's all crap. And then now they're just bad guys.
Well, yeah. And that's why that's one of the things that the prequels did well. Was like it showed this slow transition into, hey, those guys over there, they're the real bad guys. They're going to get you if you don't let us get them first. And that's why the Empire was so interesting, is because it really was one ideology versus the other, and it wasn't just a power game. And I think that's one of the things that like Hollywood has fallen into lately, where it's like all bad guys just want power, and that's it. There's nothing interesting about them. There's no like grander idea. There's no interesting motivations. But that's why Shang-Chi did so well. Is like the villain had complex reasons for doing what he was doing, and you could look at it and say, I get why you're doing what you're doing. Don't do it, but I get it. And that's why it was cool to watch. And like you can understand why Vader followed Palpatine, even though Palpatine was manipulating him. That was the cool dynamic, is that Palpatine was manipulating Vader, and Vader was going out, I'm going to say in good faith, even though obviously what he's doing is wrong, but he's going out in good faith, believing that was the way to solve all these problems.
Right. Talk about a movie that surprised me. That Shang-Chi movie was so good.
Yeah, that movie was phenomenal.
Blew it out of the water.
Unbelievably how good. But guys, it's getting close to an hour.
It is.
And I know we don't want to go too. We want to try to stick to the below an hour. So,
yep.
Do you guys want to do our farewells?
Yes. Do all three of our farewells right now, Ryan. I believe in you.
Do all three of them?
Yeah.
You want me to try all three of them at the same time?
Not at this. Well, yeah, but I mean back to back, because you can't talk 3 times at once.
I mean,
Or
I
can
try.
you?
Or we could all just say ours at the same time to expedite it.
I mean, we could. Do you?
Which
do
one
I
would you prefer to
remember
do?
mine? Let's all three do them at the same time.
Okay.
I want to confirm though. Are we doing our like "Bye, I love you" things, or are we just
The whole
like,
thing. But
we're
let me
saying-
say this first. Pop culture, unboxing, social media. It's all over the place. Find it. Okay.
Okay. All right. So ready?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, okay. Yeah. Go ahead. 3, 2, 1, go.
So you could find me
Yeah,
at
you
Matt
can
Ross
find me
VO on
at
Twitter.
all the different
and,
social media things.
I
maybe
find the show
considering
notes.
Twitch a
That's
little
where
bit
it's
more,
all
but I'm not
located.
Make sure there's
sure.
that underscore.
Show notes though
Thanks
have
for
all of that
watching.
stuff.
This was
Thank
super
you all for
fun.
watching.
I am not
Bye. I
a
love
Brazilian
you.
woman. Have fun.
Bye. That's pretty good. That worked.
That was terrible.